Good evening, everyone. Welcome and thank you for our gracious host, Nuriel, and all our friends who coming here. Maybe didn't come missing out. Beautiful crowd. Um, so one of the things that we learn that every time, you know, life continue, right? Life is the best. I like the best teacher in life is time, right? Because time doesn't stop. Time doesn't care if you're a nice person, not nice person, pretty, rich, poor, doesn't matter. It's continuing with or without you. So meaning there is a need for all of us to progress no matter what you think that I'm ready, I'm not ready, I'm interested, I'm not interested. We need to expedite and expand all the time. Why? Because the nature of this world, the Kabbalah says, it's more than the calf wants to eat, the cow wants to feed, right? Like a mother, we were just talking earlier, like a mother wants to give the children more food than what they want. Does that make sense to you? Right? So it's like the kid, okay, I don't want to eat anymore, but no, eat more, a little bit more, right? That's the nature of this world. Like Mother Earth. Mother Earth, if you plant one seed in the ground, it keeps giving you endless fruits. Doesn't ask you how much do you want, how much do you need. I'm going to give you as many as you can even imagine. That's the nature of this world. This is how the structure of this world. So when we stop evolve, we stop growing, we stop educating ourselves, we stop, transforming our ego into light, eventually life will be a bit more aggressive with us and a little bit more challenging with us, as opposed to what we Kabbalists recommend, to be more proactive about it, to be not waiting until it's getting too hard, and make it an incremental changes that are suggested, and usually life offering you, and always people telling you, giving you suggestions. I'm not saying that you need to jump on any person who suggests something to you, but if you equipped yourself with a constant view of where I am and where and what is my next level, and you challenge yourself to that, you constantly put yourself under discomfort, because comfort is what we call our vessel is comfortable with, but we're not interested in always growing, and being uncomfortable represent growing. Now, does it mean that I need to be under duress and stress? No. Pressure. How many times I spoke to you here about pressure? Anybody like pressure? Most people don't put this pressure on me. Pressure is a very necessary element of any individual. Like, like I always give the example, when you take a shower, if the water doesn't have pressure, do you enjoy the shower? Absolutely not, right? It's like, oh, I need more pressure. If there's more pressure, you feel even better. So in a way, it's kind of like therapeutical when pressure is there, but when you invite it, the results of that are way, way better than it comes from the outside. When it comes from the outside, you translate pressure as stress, duress, and a push, unnecessary. But when you invite, when you always pushing, again, not pushing people, but pushing yourself all the time, and you put more pressure, the joy for that, the expansion for that is greater than if somebody put you under stress. So this is in general always important to increase what we learn, consciousness. When you increase consciousness, you increase the opportunity of your expansion and revelation of new ideas, new information, new people, new circumstances, new situation you invite to your life only when you expand your consciousness. This is the best, healthiest way, as the Kabbalists explained for thousands of years. thousands of years. And it is important to awaken for ourselves and for the world that the healthiest way to grow is to grow my consciousness, and therefore it will invite new information, new people, new ideas, new revelation. That's the healthiest way. Unhealthy way is when people shovel at you, is when the reality pushes you, is when somebody leaves you, and or when somebody says, I don't want to be with you anymore, right? So now you say, oh, what do I need to do to get them back in my life? And then people change, people become spiritual, people go to yoga or changing their clothing, doing a haircut, or whatever it is. Maybe I'm going to attract them back. No, 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 no. That is already a result of us not growing. Or for example, some of us or most of us, in a raise of a hand, most of us can say we all have issue with boundaries. We all have that, boundaries to ourselves and boundaries to others, to our family, to friends, right? We let people in and out of our life without even, putting any pushback, right? They want to come and run over our life. We're doing it, no problem. That has to stop, and that can stop when you increase consciousness. That is the proactive way. Always educate yourself. New things comes to your life. This is how you attract new things to your life. So therefore, the Kabbalah says that we going according to the weekly energy, because every week it's revealing new secrets. The universe reveal so much more for us. But a lot of us, like, I don't know. Yeah, I didn't know, right? What the last week was. Anybody know about the 2 weeks ago was Passover, right? What was the opportunity? Oh, if I don't know what it is, it's like just sounds like a nice holiday. Or this week, if I know what is the opportunity that comes to us this week. So I'm going to share a few concepts that are very much, if you take it more and more seriously, more and more deeper, it will really going to show you the magic of Kabbalah. Because it's not just about hearing information, it's about actualize the information. So when you hear something, it's important to take a step in the direction of that, and it starts working magic in your life. So one of the things that we're speaking about is from this week's energy, speaks about the concept of holiness. Holiness. What is holiness? Now we learned that, we want in our relationship holiness in our relationship. Now the Kabbalist doesn't say holy like it's a holy man or very much important person. Kabbalist says holy from the word whole, WHOLE, right? Whole, from the idea of circuitry, from the idea of continuity. That's what holy person means. That it's not about them, it's about everybody else. It's not just what I want, it's what benefits everyone else. That is a holy person. A holy person is not someone who is separate from everybody, not talking to not shaking hands and not engaged with people or with the other kinds, or doesn't have money. No, no, no. That doesn't mean that. That's what we learn and what we equipped to believe. A holy person is someone that is within all the people and doing everything that they do for the people. This is a holy person. And when we start to transform our life to that direction, then you become unstoppable. You become an endless source for so many people. And that is the idea, because, for example, I'm here because I have so much to share and it's nothing to do with me. And I always share that many, many times. When you connect to the wisdom, you connect to the truth. Any other time, it might be the world of fakeness and lies and what we call the ego, the world of the ego. So there's all of this lies and fake and different intention. When you're with the wisdom, lies and darkness and negativity has to stay away. Okay, so as many as time as you can make an attempt to connect to the wisdom, that as much as you can increase your light and your holiness. And again, holy, I hope it's very clear what I'm saying, that I'm not asking you to be a holy, like elevated than others. By itself, the reality will elevate you if you really taking care of others' needs more than just your need. Now, that's one level. Now it says that to achieve that level, you need to be in a certain of what we call consciousness of what they call. Have you heard? I'm sure you heard the verse or the sentence that says, "Love thy neighbor as yourself." Right? This coming from this week's portion. It's the first time appear in the universe. This week's energy is love thy neighbor as yourself. Now, as a concept, it's a very noble concept. I mean, love thy neighbor as yourself. I mean, the whole religion is about love thy neighbor as yourself. But can I barely can stand my brother. How can I love my neighbor? What, my neighbor? It's very hard. Even my boss. How can I love my boss? Look how they treat us. How can I love the co-worker? They stole money. They stole a job. How? And more than that, religion throughout the years even force you to love thy neighbor yourself. If you don't have love thy neighbor yourself, you are this and that and all kind of harshness around that. Now let's be clear about that idea, because as according to the Kabbalists, this is the highest level you can achieve. Love thy neighbor as yourself. You know, what is the first problem? We don't even love ourselves, right? That is the first initial request in this week. Can you fall in love with yourself? If you will be with yourself, would you love you? Right? If you will be with somebody like you, would you love you? Right? Or find what you don't love about yourself and check. Why don't I love it? Oh, because it doesn't make other people feel good. That's why I don't like it. It's the wrong idea. A lot of people trying to change who they are so they can fit in other people's circle. And that means they hate themselves. Why? Because in order to fit in that circle, I'm not okay this way. So I need to change myself so they will approve me. Right? That's not love thy neighbor as yourself. That's not love yourself first. Because you can't give what you don't have. If you don't have love inside, how can I love my neighbor? You understand? So the first job, the first incremental change is to increase the love about yourself and for yourself. And again, I'm not talking about that all day long you pamper yourself, all day long, I mean, massaging myself, and all day long I'm calling people that they will tell me how great I am. That's not what we're talking about. Love thy neighbor, meaning is, first of all, to love yourself, is to look at what doesn't work within me and work on transformation. Put yourself on a trajectory. Not, a lot of people, they lie of the word, they like to do diet, diet, the people like to diet, Why? Because everybody think they need to lose weight. But it's a known thing. But what does everybody do? 60 days only eat like a bird, and then you're gonna lose the weight. Do this 30-day cleanse, and a lot of people doing it, and they feel great, and they lost the weight, but they gain it so fast, exactly the same way. We are not interested in an instant change or immediate change, but incremental, a path. Put yourself, you know what? Maybe in 5 years. Let me put a 5 years process. I study every week. I'm adding another tool to my life. I'm adding another reading to my day. I'm adding another meeting with somebody a little bit to guide me, right? Slowly finding ways to tackle this issue. In relationship, I'm stuck. Why? Such and such historical or you call it trauma from previous relationship, and you're not dealing with that. You don't love yourself if you're not working on it. And therefore, you can't even get to the level of love anybody else, because anything that you love somebody without, first of all, the love inside of you, it's an empty love. And it's not going to continue for a long time. So obviously, this is the work of what the Kabbalists tell us. So first, speak. Like when you speak about yourself, how do you speak about yourself? Like compared to where you at, right? I'm this or I'm that, I've done this. Most of us, when we're speaking about ourselves, we're speaking about our history, what I've done, the resume, right? Or what I'm doing, or what's my works, or who I am compared to. But never speak about yourself. It's about things that you've done, right? So first of all, check how you speak about yourself. Do you really present yourself right, right? Or are you presenting what you do? That's not you, right? So start to connect to who you are by learning how you speak about yourself. Even speak to yourself about yourself, right?
That should be an interesting conversation.
That can be a conversation.
That's about important. Think about yourself.
Yeah. I can definitely do it. I'm recording right now, but I will do it with you, right? Also, it's another part of you. Okay, that's one part of you. I will share, but obviously I want to make it individually, right? It's a point that we all need to figure out. Who am I? Who is the person I'm talking about? My ego, my fake, or what people think about me, or who I really am, right? That's one level. And again, even if it's just individually to yourself. Second thing is, are you speaking negatively about yourself or positively about yourself when you talk internal talk, not even, I'm so bad, I'm so this, I'm so lazy, I'm this, I'm that, all this negative talk about yourself. How can you love anyone who's speaking so bad about them? About, right? Imagine if you hear from the side somebody speak about you the same day. I don't want to be a friend with this person. It's so negative, right? So that has to change as well. Change the conversation as well. Is it positive or is it negative? And if it's negative, make it constructive. You know what? I see it, I have so much ego in this area. I need to figure a way how to overcome that. I need help in that direction, right? So at least if you recognize something that is so dense or so thick about yourself, let me talk about it in a way of gentle, open up, right? Be gentle with yourself. It's another aspect of what can be done. And the second thing is that I always talking about it in many, many classes. If I work for a company, I come every day to my job and I'm asking my superior, my boss, what's my job description today? What do I need to do today? What's the task for today? Is it correct to say? Right? Employee that doesn't speak to a boss or even project manager or whatever it is, or even the client that you're working for. I'll do whatever I want. What do you mean? The client is the boss. You need to do what he's saying. Imagine you're not talking to them. You just do whatever you want. It doesn't make any sense, right? Each one of us coming from a very much the same place. If we understand, and again, this is another two level. One is to understand or to get to the level that we know there is a boss to this reality. This world that we live in, there is a boss. You can call it God, you can call it light, you can call it energy, you can call it universal thinking, you can call it whatever you want. But you need to know this world is operated and operating and came from an endless place. that this is the creator of this world, the boss of this reality. Now, a lot of people stop. I don't believe there is something. Okay. Why? Because you never ask, you never spoke. A lot of people say, "Yeah, I spoke to God, the creator, he never answered me." Right? That's the claim that people say. If you don't ask, what's my job description today? Every day, you need to open the conversation. First with yourself, say about yourself, increase that, what you need to change. And second is with the boss of this reality. What are you talking? What do you do today? Oh, I'm going to work. I think that's what I need to do, right? To work, to produce, to get married, to have children. This is what I need to do. No, if you talk to the boss, he will tell you exactly your task for today. I get a task every day. I don't get an email. I don't get, but you've been guided. And you know, it happened to you many times that you were guided how to sit in here on the plane on this, like you shared with me before. How come my friend is in Hong Kong meeting him? How is it all directed, right? It's magic. When you open for that, you see how all is communicate with you through you and through others. But we're not open for that conversation. So first, in order for to hear that conversation, I recommend to ask every day from the boss, not from the boss. Talk to, call it whatever you want. What am I supposed to do? What? Don't ask people. Just open the conversation. Really, like you're talking to your boss, right? And you will slowly, slowly, it will be very much in a magical way. You're gonna start hearing what is need to be done here, what need to be learned here, what need to be said here, what not to be need to be said over there. This is part of what we calling love thy neighbor as yourself. This is a process, right? Then another beautiful thing that it's important to awaken here, and this is the final point that I want to make. What is real influence? What is real influence? Because we all want to influence our family, our friends, worker, business, you know, with a product, with whatever it is, right? What is real influence? The real influence can happen when you are not there. That's the problem. When you never showed up. So I came to the class, I just brought my body, but I left. Once you understand that, you will understand real influence, because a lot of us are influenced or want to be influenced by, you know, what we call likes, or how many people likes us, how many people says we are good, how many people buy from us. We think it's influence. That influence ends as soon as you say the wrong word, right? People stop following you. So interesting. Now again, I'm gonna say it because I wanted to be heard again and again. What is don't every and again? I hope nobody should and will be part of a funeral. Have you been in a funeral before? I hope you never should be ever. But in our line of duty, sometimes we perform a wedding and also funeral and also many things that in a cycle of life. Interesting, and I'm sure you will agree with me. Every time, sometimes I go to a funeral and it's people that I don't know. It's the father of, or I need to somebody ask, you know. So I go and I ask a little bit who is the person, or I usually sit first. I let the family speak, and I want to know who is the person, right? Have you ever heard a funeral where everybody go and speak so bad about the person? Never. And but by the way, you and I know that that person was not what they say in the funeral. It's like, what is going on here? Don't you see? It's a fun for me. And again, I'm telling you, I don't want anybody to, but because I went to few and too many, let's put it this way, I'm like, this is a phenomenon. Some of the people I know, they're not that positive. How did they, like, I'm sitting there and like, this is holy people. I wish I would know those people much closely when they're alive, right? And again, if it's a family member that you know that was so bad, all of a sudden, what happening there? What is the phenomenon? What is the beauty? It's because their ego is no longer there. It's because the part of the body that connected to the ego, connected to selfishness, connected to the what we call in Kabbalah the desire to receive for the self alone is no longer there. What remains is only pure influence. Pure influence. So what people go and speak on the podium, they don't even know what they speak. It's the energy take over because now it's a pure soul. So only goodness come up. I saying to you today that this week is telling us achieve that without death. That's the goal.
Yeah.
You don't have to die for the sake of connecting to this pure and beautiful word. It's not about the word that people are saying about you, please, because the deceased not gonna get up and says, "Oh, thank you. By the way, I get it. I know somebody saw it." People saying, and they know, probably, whatever reason they calculate to say this or that. But the truth is, the phenomena is that the body is no longer attached to the ego and the selfishness. So only light. And this is who we are. If you take away that from within you, that connection to the selfishness and to the desire to receive for the self alone, you are at instant, pure beyond. Your influence go far away. That's min kdoshim, holy. So I asked earlier in the class, what if you know? What if you know? What if, let's say you go back tonight home, and there's an official envelope that you are a descendant of very much royalty, and you're about to inherit a huge land. Iceland is yours. You are the king or the queen of England. We made a mistake. It's you. Tell me how you're going to react. Tell me, or even, you know what? Think about it. What will happen to you? What will happen to you if today you get an email? By the way, not email because we don't know, but you get an official letter from big lawyers. We have your inheritance that was been given to you because of your parents, and is a $5 billion. What is happening to you now? This is when you learn that. What about if you grow up knowingly that you're supposed to be the continuation of a lineage of kingdoms?
Yeah.
How are you going to behave? How are you going to show up? How are you going to talk to people? How are you going to talk to yourself? What type of work are you going to do? And I'm telling you, my friend, I would love this week that you will understand that you are the child of the king of the world. This is what I would like you to say to yourself. Melech haolam. Melech haolam is the king of the world. When we're doing any blessings, we're talking about Melech haolam. When we're doing a blessing of this or that, we say Baruch Ata Hashem Melech haolam. Why? Because we are the children of the king of the world. Not, with all the respect, Queen of England or King of this. It's like, this is the King of the world. We are those children. So let's show up every day like the children of the King of the world. Again, this is high. Again, how do you show up? How are you going to talk to people? How are you going to look at people? Because if I'm the child of the King of the world, you are my sister. So how could I look at you? Look you down? Or look at you bad? Or what? And this is the conversation. This is Kedoshim. This is holy. We are holy people. You don't see it yet. With holy people, remember, it's not like, oh, it's holy like a monk. I'm talking about holy like from a way of we are continuing the work of the creator, of the king of the world in this world. You are in charge of delivering it. So more you show up every day as the child, as the child of the king of the world, you will get so much more insight to this world. Insight. So with the help of this blessing, with the help of our together consciousness together and desire, maybe we moved an inch closer today. We did what we're supposed to do to the world. So thank you for coming. We're gonna